Desperation. Desperation makes people do some desperate shiz. Yeah. And that's something that we are definitely going to encounter in this episode. Starting off with Tatia and Dylan, because her actions are telling me one simple thing, that she will do anything possible to just get the ring on her finger. Let's get into how and why I believe this.
After I proposed, we've been breaking up every 3 or 4 weeks, selling all her jewellery just to fund her shopping habit. And I thought, she's going to pawn that, so I took the ring back.
Okay.
Now, for the people who don't know, or maybe you have forgotten, originally when it came to Dylan and Tatia, he did propose to her. I believe this is back when they were still living in Thailand. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, so therefore they ended up going separate ways. But then somehow still end up back together anyway. But at that moment in time, he did propose to her, and of course she said yes. But as you heard right there, he ended up taking the ring away from her purely because the woman can't help but spend. So therefore he worried that if she kept the ring, that there was a chance that she may even pawn it. Now, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for thinking that in any type of form. But look at it this way. If you're in a relationship with somebody who makes you believe that they're actually going to pawn the ring that you've given to them, given the fact that you are actually engaged, you're not broken up, you're engaged, okay? And that says a lot about how much you really don't trust that person, especially when it comes to that person and money. So does Dylan really want to be in a marriage? Really want to continue a relationship with somebody who he will never trust financially? Because that's a big statement to make. To say that I took away the engagement ring, which pretty much cancelled our engagement because I didn't trust that she was going to actually be faithful to that ring. I only trusted that she was going to eventually pawn it for money. Ooh, trust me, to get to that point where you're thinking that, it says a whole lot about how much you don't trust that person and how much you probably shouldn't be with that person.
So the ring.
Yes.
10 years ago you gave her the ring. And you've been holding on to that ring ever since.
Yeah.
I don't know, 12 years. I feel like if you haven't fixed something after 12 years, how many more years is it going to take for you to...
Exactly. How many more years is it going to take for you to fix things? 12 years since he last proposed to her. And nothing has changed in any shape or form. Not a single thing has changed. If anything, you can argue and say things have even gotten worse because she left Las Vegas or wherever she left to come all the way to Australia. Meanwhile, she still has a 20k debt on her back. And she was expecting Dylan to be the one to pay it off as well because she blames him for why she hasn't been able to pay off because he wanted to move to Aussie and therefore she's now in a position where she can't work to earn the money anymore to be able to pay it off. So therefore, Dylan has to be the one that pays it off. Well, you know, when the math isn't mathing, the logic just isn't logicking. I just made that up. Don't even know what I mean. You get what I meant?
Her life has been fast-paced. Fast money, fast living. How's she going to be happy here? She's in a foreign country. She's got no family or friends here. She's just going to be happy.
To be fair, the guy's got a point. This is the woman that loves the fast life. She loves the quick life. You know, she loves the give me money now and I'll think about it later. You know, she's not somebody that thinks about things long term. Does Dylan really want to be with somebody who doesn't think about life in the long term? Because let's be real, thinking about life in the long term is definitely something that she does not do. And he is something that is obviously trying to think about those things. I mean, look at it this way. If these two were to have a child, imagine how much even more in debt that they would become. Because if she's this bad at spending money on herself, I can't imagine how bad she would be spending money on their child. But then there's the flip side. If she's this bad at spending money on herself, I can't imagine how much she may even potentially neglect the child by still spending money on herself and not the child. Because I've seen parents, when I used to work in schools, I would see mums, you know, it was predominantly always the bloody mums, okay? Because it's usually the mums that come and picks up the kids, right? You see them come in the morning, eyelashes fresh, hair done fresh, you know, fresh shoes, fresh this. And you look at their child and their child looks like as if the mum forgets the child even exists. It would come to PE, physical education, and you're thinking, where is my child's PE kit? The child hasn't even got one. But mum will then come back, pick up her child after school, looking dapper, looking good, huh? But then the child's looking like trash. So you never know. Would Tatia be the kind of person that when it comes to the money in there, the child, well, to be fair, say that She has got children, hasn't she now? Let's not forget that. Oh my goodness gracious me. And people do question what is her relationship with her children. But either way though, if she was to have a child with Dylan now, that's the question. But to be fair, obviously it's a good thing that she keeps her children outside the spotlight. But I'd be very curious to find out how they were raised. Was Mama really there, or did Mama neglect them? Because we all know she loves the strip club.
Be hanging around, immune system.
Being older, she can't live that fast-paced life forever.
You worry about the financials and you worry about the money. So I just think I want to go back to the States, home for like 6 months, bring my paying off and be okay with that.
She wants to go back to the States and go back to dancing and making the money so she can pay off the debt. This is what she tells him. But why? Is it really because she wants to go back to the States to earn money? Or is it for another reason? This is where the manipulation comes in, folks.
And dance that debt off.
So once you get a ring, like everything's magically going to change. You're going to become.
It's not going to magically change. It's going to make me feel better.
Let's let this sink in, okay? After she spoke about going to America and dancing and paying the debt off, she did also mention the fact that, well, you know, right now you're not looking to commit to me by giving me a ring, so I should just go off and da-da-da-da-da. Listen, she was saying that stuff on purpose because she wanted a reaction, and the reaction that she got is, well, so you want me to propose to you, basically. And she's like, yeah, of course, to make me feel better. Huh? Proposing may make you feel better, but it's not going to change the problems that you both have. Thirsty.
Okay, I wanted to commit to us being together. I love
You're
you.
not committing. You're just like running off to dancing already.
Put a ring on it.
I don't understand why people put themselves in a position where they feel the need to be thirsty. Thirsty enough to play or to use reverse psychology. Or desperate enough to play games to the point where they would tell someone something just for a reaction. Tatia clearly told Dylan that she was wanting to leave to go back to Vegas to earn money to pay the debt off. Not because she wants to go and do that. She was doing it because she was testing to see what his reaction would be. She wanted to see if he was going to react in a way that, if he was going to react in a way where he was going to say something along the lines of, but no, you should stay. No, baby, but I'll pay for it. Don't worry, I've got it covered. The moral of the situation is that she did what she did because she wanted to see if he was going to try and keep her there, but most importantly, if he was then going to end up proposing to her for her to stay there, because she's made it clear that if you put a ring on it, then I don't have to go back. The logic behind that, there is no logic behind that, to be honest with you. It's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. But this is where we're at now when it comes to Tatia and Dylan. And Dylan needs to wake up and he needs to bounce. Because if he's going to stay in this relationship with Tatia, given the fact that this is always going to be her approach and her attitude, well then, ladies and gentlemen, I do not feel sorry for this man in any shape or form. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, she's playing a game. And people in real relationships where things are actually going to work, you don't play games. That's why whenever somebody's trying to play these games here where I've now got to turn around and start begging them or start telling them how much I I don't play these games. Because if we're playing a game, then that tells me that the beginning or the current status of our relationship is clearly already doomed. But that's just my opinion. Now, let's move on to the next couple. So this one here is Luke and Meline. And Meline and Luke, well, let's just say they are no different when it comes to playing games. I purely believe Meline did all of this on purpose. Let's get into what I'm talking about.
About you don't give it to me, so how are we going to get children to the world when you and me fighting all the time, when you cheating of me, like how?
You know what was crazy? The amount of times she has to keep reminding him that he cheated. But did he cheat though? This is the same girl that slept in her bed with another guy. But hey, we won't talk about that. But hey, right now they're talking about pregnancy. Okay, let's get into it.
Something. This is one line. What does one line mean?
Negative.
This is negative?
Tante.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I know my vocals are off the charts. I know, what can I say? Hey, listen, if these two had gotten a positive that yes, she was pregnant, That would have been so devastating. It would have been bad news for this child because they don't have any stability right now that involves having a child. And also, the trust issues are crazy, and the controlling is crazy, and the reverse psychology is crazy. Let's get into why.
Everything that you do. But the fact of the matter is, I try as much as I can to provide for you, and make manly decisions. I'd really appreciate it.
I'm gonna lie to you folks, if you're in a position where you have to basically say to your woman, let me make manly decisions, that tells you everything that you need to know about how much she does not respect you, how much she does not trust you. Because you see, if she respected him and trusted him, well, guess what? He'd be able to make these manly decisions this whole time without even having to tell her or ask her, shall I say. But we know that when it comes to trust is something that is non-existent. So he can ask for all this all he wants, but I promise you now, yes, Meline is going to agree to and say, you know what, yes, I should trust him, blah, 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 and I will give him the trust, blah, 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 blah. But because she doesn't trust him really and truly, this is always going to creep up at some point. And this is why these two having a child, boy, hallelujah, it is not happening. Because bringing a child into a relationship where there's no trust between the parents, well then how are each parent going to trust each other when it comes to raising their child? They're always going to be undermining each other.
One of my biggest problems in this relationship is always he show me I don't kind of trust him in anything. So I really push so hard to push my name on. I tell.
So blah, 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 blah. The reason why she wanted a name on the property so much is because she doesn't trust whether or not he is always going to be in her life or not. But this is crazy though, because let's just look at the details here. Luke is the one that gets all the money, puts all the money into the businesses, but she still wants her name on the businesses just so she can know that he can that she can trust him. He puts all the money into the businesses just so here's the thing. So he puts all the money into the business, but she wants her name in the business just in case he was to break up with her and leave her, so at least she has something. Hold on a minute. But he's put all the money down to the business. So she wants to be rewarded by something that she didn't put no money into if they were to break up. What? What?
Tell him maybe I think I get pregnant and he reaction like no, I really want a family with you. Make me more comfortable about everything's gonna to be good. About you.
Let's talk about it. So now she obviously spoke about the part that I really wanted to hit the most. The money aspect. No, sorry, the baby aspect. She said, now I know that. Listen, I promise you now, this woman knew that she wasn't pregnant. She faked the whole thing. The whole thing was staged. She faked the whole pregnancy thing because she wanted to see. But look at it this way. When Luke said to her an episode 2 ago that maybe me and you are not compatible, she started crying and started saying, no, blah, 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 we're going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. So the moment that she knew that he was checking out, she cried and then guilt tripped him to stay. Okay? Now, because she is not going to be on this deed, she's not going to be a part of the property, her name isn't going to be on it, all of a sudden, oh, I might be pregnant. Oh, really? 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 Come on, miss me with the BS. This woman faked it. She knew that she wasn't pregnant. She knew it. She just wanted to put him in a position where he would want to stay even more because she knows how much of a fool he is. The reverse psychology is crazy. This is absolutely nothing but nasty work. Somebody please tell me otherwise. Because isn't it a bit convenient when he told her that maybe we're not compatible? She then starts crying and then wins him back over with sympathy. And then the second that he's like, oh, my name's going on the properties or whatever the business is, and all of a sudden she's now showing symptoms of pregnancy. All of a sudden. Never underestimate a hustler. And based on what she's told us about her life, she's a hustler. Let's let that sink in. Well, let's move on to the next one. Now here we talk about infidelity. Chloe, the girl that never listens to her friends or her mother. To be fair, to make it worse, the girl that doesn't even listen to herself.
Chloe, no. You marrying him is the worst idea you've probably ever had in your life.
But you find out about a random girl every single week.
Clubhouse. And he said he was at work all day. And his coworkers were like, Jonathan didn't work today. Understand there's.
This girl doesn't understand nothing. Your friends are telling you that this guy is pretty much cheating you like how many times now, and yet you're still sticking around. He's cheated, he's lied, he's done everything under the moon, under the sun, under the clouds, under the sky, under the water, in the water.
Side, but I feel like since I've been here that Jonathan is being faithful. Like I think we've had.
Since I've been here, he's been faithful. That's a problem. So basically you're saying that he's only faithful only when you're around, but when you're not around, he's not faithful. And let's not forget, she said since I've been here, she's been faithful, but a few episodes back, it was revealed that she was going back to Boston every now and then to get her hair done. So that means each time she booked a flight to go to Boston to get her hair done, what was Jonathan doing? So technically speaking, since you've been there, has he really been faithful? Yeah, that's the question.
Had growth, but no, like
So he has been cheating.
lately, no.
So what's changed?
I mean,
Is he just lying better? In the year that they've been together, I think Johnny has cheated on her. Probably every week.
I mean, listen, what's changed? Yes, that's all that's changed. Maybe he's been lying better. She needs to listen to her friends. Your friends are putting you in game. They're educating you with good information here. They're letting you know that this man right here ain't shit. But like I said, she's not going to listen to herself. She's not going to listen to her friends. She's not going to listen to her mother. And unfortunately, it seems to me as if something dramatic has to happen for her to really open up her eyes. That her and Johnny have never actually been in a relationship. Because how have they really been in a relationship if he's never been loyal at any single point? If his loyalty has only ever been when she's actually been present in the country. I mean, maybe he lives by that rule. Maybe he lives by the rule of if we're not in the same countries, well then what I'm doing doesn't matter, it doesn't count. Some people do that, holes in different area codes. Oh, but hey, listen, this is what happens though when a mother raised a spoiled little brat. This is a mother's own doing, to be honest with you. She raised her child this way. Unfortunately. Well, let's move on to the next one and the last one. Let's talk about Greta. Greta.
I know that there was a shift because I felt like we were not evolving into people that were still compatible with each other. And
Let's be honest, tell you the
To be fair, I'm not lie to you, a lot of people are giving her stick, and I don't know why, because the way she's gone about this whole breakup, in my opinion, has been quite solid, to be fair. I don't feel like she's done nothing wrong. I mean, the only thing, yeah, she's only been there for 4 days, but if somebody knows, then they know. How can you penalize someone for not wanting to be with someone after knowing that this isn't going to work? And also on top of that, she may have only been in the UK for 4 days, but they've been in a relationship for a very long time. And she did speak about how this whole time, for the last 6 months, she just hasn't felt as if things are progressing the way she wanted to progress. But she thought she'd at least come to the UK, at least give it a try. Which, to be fair, was probably a dumb move, but for some of us, maybe it's a dumb move, but for some of us, that is probably a necessary move, because sometimes you want to know. You don't want to walk away without knowing, because sometimes if you walk away without knowing, well, then you can live with regret, or you can live with the what if. So I respect the fact that she didn't want to live with the what if, so that's why she decided to continue by moving to the UK anyway to see if things was going to work. But either way, though, she's obviously come there and she's recognized that, yeah, how she's been feeling beforehand hasn't changed, and if anything, it's probably even got worse. Yeah, so it is what it is. It happens. And let's be real, a lot of the time when breakups happen, listen, nobody can tell me they've ever been for a breakup that wasn't unexpected. We've all had unexpected breakups. If we haven't, then I'm happy for you. But yeah, and to be fair, I can relate massively to what she said. We've just evolved differently. That's an experience that I've been through myself, evolving differently.
4 days. It's not been given a chance to go in.
I know it seems like sudden, and I know this just sounds like crazy, but that, like, he's not my person.
So she,
Which, like, you can accept or not. I just, like, know I can't make him happy.
I mean, listen, kudos to her for understanding that he's not her person, and also massive kudos for understanding that she's just not going to be the one to make him happy. Despite how much of a good guy that he is, she knows that based on what she wants or the direction that she's going in life, he just isn't. She just won't be able to fulfill what he needs to make her happy. And rather than allow him to sacrifice what he needs, she'd rather just let him go. I'm going to tell you this now, folks. That is somebody that truly did actually love this man. Because you see, there's a fine line between somebody that loved you and somebody that just had lust over you. People that loved you will wish the best for you. People that lust for you, they will just bring hell to you. Yeah, so there is that part. So to be fair with you, I would say the way she's handled it really shows character in terms of the fact that she just truly wants the best for him, not the worst for him. You know? So, yeah. Well, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.